What if I told you the Steelers don't have a quarterback problem, they have a strategy problem? Because right now, this franchise is stuck in the most dangerous place in all of sports. They're not bad enough to fix anything, and they're not good enough to matter. And that is where my master plan comes in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Will Howard Gambit. So let's set the stage. The Steelers are finally hiring a new coach, and based on every report, it's going to be a defensive guy in his late 30s or early 40s with no head coaching experience, quote-unquote culture builder, so essentially just a new Mike Tomlin. It's going to be the same expectations, the same philosophy, the same fear of being bad. Here's the problem. Aaron Rodgers came to Pittsburgh for Mike Tomlin. Tomlin's gone, Rodgers is 42, he's not coming back, which is a good thing. Because at this point, Aaron Rodgers is running purely on aura and vibes and just his past memories from 10 years ago. So right now, the Steelers have Mason Rudolph, 1 year left on his deal, and Will Howard, a rookie, well, this year he's a rookie, under contract until 2028. They already see Rudolph as a backup. That's not me saying that, that's the organization. So this is really about Will Howard, and the Steelers kind of like him. They also kind of don't. But do you know who does like him? The fans. So let's talk about Will Howard. On paper, he looks like a good movie quarterback. He's 6'4", he's got a big frame, won a national championship at Ohio State, has tons of college experience, he has commands of the huddle, he's got good leader vibes. But that championship at Ohio State gives him an inflated pedigree. But here's the reality. He was a 6th round pick. Now yes, I know, Tom Brady was a 6th round pick, but Tom Brady is the exception that proves the rule, not the rule. Scouts say Howard doesn't have a great arm, isn't elite mentally, and I quote, can't play chess against NFL defenses, which is not what you want your quarterback described as. That is not a quarterback, that's a Madden CPU. So why would you start him? Because fans want to see him. He's young, he's new, he's mysterious, he hasn't hurt anyone's feelings yet, and that's powerful. If you start Mason Rudolph, the fans will riot. If you sign another washed veteran, the fans will riot. But if you start Will Howard, the fans will go, all right, let's see. And that is the entire point. So here's the plan. Start Will Howard. Not because he's the future, not because he's the answer, but because he's believable. You could sell hope with Will Howard. You can't sell hope with Mason Rudolph. You let Howard play, you hype up his leadership, you talk about development, you post clips of him high-fiving linemen and being a leader, and while that's happening, you quietly go 3-14. The city will support him just long enough. They'll say he's learning, they'll say he needs weapons, that he needs time, but meanwhile, you're setting up the real move. Say it with me, Tank for Arch. Should be on a t-shirt. Arch Manning is a prize. He's swimming in NIL money. He's making millions upon millions of dollars already, and that's why he stayed in college longer. He could have been a top pick already. Barring injury, he's the face of a future draft. And if the Steelers want a real quarterback, not a maybe, not a bridge, not a vibes guy, they need to be at the top. And the only way to do that is to be bad. You know how the Steelers got their legendary quarterbacks? They were awful. In 1969, they went 1-13, drafted Terry Bradshaw. In 2003, they went 6-10, they drafted Ben Roethlisberger. Without Bradshaw and Ben, 0 Super Bowls. 0. Every time this team finds a real quarterback, it comes from pain. But this franchise refuses to accept that. They would rather go 9-8 or 10-7 forever. That is their natural habitat. So here's why they won't do this. The ownership doesn't tank, they don't rebuild, they scrape. They'll probably sign another elderly quarterback, maybe sign Malik Willis because he had one good game. They'll find a way to go 9-8 because being mid is in their DNA. They'd rather be competitive than correct. And here's the worst part. Even if they did get the #1 pick, Arch Manning might refuse to come, just like Uncle Eli did. This is not a destination franchise. He might Eli him. I will not be playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Which will be devastating, but at least the Chargers got Phillip Rivers. But at least you tried. The fastest way out of quarterback hell is through it. Not around it, not pretending, not duct taping it with veterans. You have to be terrible. Will Howard is not the problem. He's the sacrifice. And that is the Will Howard Gambit.